Hi, thank you. My background is strategy and innovation. And what I want to talk today about is more through the entire supply chain. And so we're going to take a step kind of sideways and look at it more from the perspective of AI. Yes, it's robotics. But like Jody said, it's also enhanced learning and judgment and prediction. And I want to talk about some of the implementations that we've been involved with and we're dreaming about to try to get Canada to be #1. Efficiency across the supply chain. 88% of Canadian companies already have global supply chains. And with NAFTA in question, we need to look to new trading partners. And some of those trading partners are demanding that we also understand the amount of carbon and greenhouse gases we're emitting into the world. And we haven't got a very good track record here. But there is a huge opportunity. And we have the know-how. If you look at the World Economic Forum sponsored in 2017 a CEO executive survey, and they said, all right, what are the top risks to your business? Extreme weather events was #1. Natural disasters is #2. Cyber attacks, data fraud, 3 and 4. And failure of climate change mitigation and adaptation is 5th. 3 of the top 5 risks our worldwide CEOs talk about are related to climate change. So let's talk about it. Do you guys, I'm not sure everybody in the room is going to remember 1980. Some of us don't want to. But back in 1980, there were 200 major storms. It was a big deal if there was a flood in Ottawa, Bancroft, or even in Brantford, like there was last week. At the end of 2016, there's more than 700. We actually have to change some of the hurricanes categories for the first time in our global history. They include temperatures, droughts, fires, floods, mudslides, and storms. We're dumping 110 million tons of man-made global warming pollution into the atmosphere every 24 hours. And this was 2016. We're a little nervous that the numbers for 2017 may come in higher. I'm not trying to scare you. This is a huge opportunity for Canada, and I'm pumped. So if we look at the supply chain, look at all the opportunities of where carbon dioxide is coming in through thawing the permafrost, coal mining and coal plants. In Canada, we've committed by 2030 that the coal production will be off coal plants. So we don't have to focus in on those. But let's talk about industrial agriculture, land transport. Let's talk about fertilization, crop burning, oil production, and air transport. Every one of those segments have huge opportunities, and they also have big data. Because like Jody said, they already have established processes, data collection. And if we can pull that information out, we can start making a huge difference right away. Let's talk about industrial processes. With respect to industrial processes, that's probably more of the automation, where we're trying to look at, rather than judgment, what are ways we can drive efficiency through it. There's this great company in Aurora, it's called Flow Water. And they wanted to do something completely unique. They wanted to eliminate plastic bottles. So they have introduced a fiberboard product that's put together with a plastic. The plastic is made from sugar cane, so it's biodegradable. Their water process, they have tracked through the point of the source, which is in Bruce Peninsula, all the way to shipments in China, where they can decrease carbon dioxide. It's a really cool Canadian success story. Land transportation in the United States, there's something called positive train control. And that one is really exciting because in the last number of years, we've had a few train disasters. What is happening now is they're looking at checking all of the train tracks, either with sensors or drones, to find out if there's any impediments to the train track in any way, shape, or form, and feeding all of this information back to the conductor. So the prediction of perhaps there's that as you go around this curve, you should potentially slow down to 80 miles an hour because there might be water on the tracks is now immediately available for conductors. And with quick storms coming up, this is going to save lives, save product, and create a huge cost reduction throughout the entire supply chain. Water management. I was in a lecture, and this one was really interesting. This is just dreaming, but the technology's there if we could apply it. There's water in the north where naturally occurring arsenic is leaching into the lake. And one of the things that they've been tracking is if they could add oxygen, they can lower the arsenic, increase the bacteria. Did you know there's bacteria that eat arsenic? There are. So they could increase the number of bacteria that eat the arsenic and have a clean water. Now, this could be, it's being tracked, but it's a very remote location. So if we could track it and then feed it into a robot that could introduce oxygen into the water, that water would be drinkable year-round. Forest management. There's already software companies out there that are, and there's a really interesting study coming out of the University of Oklahoma and the University of Alberta after the Fort McMurray fire, where they're looking to see which trees forestry companies should cut down to improve the life of the forest, so that the fuel ones, the ones that'll burn more quickly, can be cut and harvested for sale, and in so doing, save the entire forest. Oil production. If you remember on the previous slide, it said oil production is driving a lot of carbon dioxide. One of the benefits of a low oil price is that we've been really working at efficiencies, and so pumpers are able to check the seismic data and look to see how much potentially oil is there. Is this the type of well that's going to give off more carbon dioxide or less, and increase the overall efficiency of the entire production. Sustainable agriculture is an emerging area. And one of the things that's happening right now internationally is there's projects saying in sustainable fishing and sustainable food, how are we able to ensure that our practices are respectful of the animals, respectful of the earth, and decrease carbon dioxide. This data is available, but again, taking it to that next step is where we're lacking. It's our earth. Canada's got a chance to lead with artificial intelligence in the tracking of carbon dioxide and mitigating it. Just to end, I'd like to show this picture by Michelle Valberg, who's a partner of mine in Canada's 150 Women for Nature. Michelle, this is Spirit Bear. Michelle graciously allowed me to share the picture with you. Raven told the world that she would leave a reminder of the Great Ice Age, so that we could see in our earth our responsibility to fix it and to heal it. Spirit Bear is born in the BC rainforest. Let's keep her memory alive so that we can heal our earth and grow Canada's economy exponentially and dominate in the AI space through the supply chain. Thank you.
Tell us who you're working with on some of these issues that you're bringing up.
Unfortunately, we sign very strict NDAs because we're in the strategy side of the business and innovation. I can say that they're major Fortune 500 companies, but I really can't go into much more depth than this at this point. Although I can say I work with Flow. Right. I'm very proud to say that I work with Flow Water because it's an amazing company, and we've really worked on their strategy of sustainability to the point where they are a certified B Corp, which means they're a company that does good.
But you should tell the audience why they're so amazing, what they've done with the technology.
Flow is the company that is working on completely eliminating plastic water bottles. And they're also eliminating through the supply chain any use of chemicals in their manufacturing process. They actually use ultraviolet light to clean the water. So on all sides, they have been innovative to ensure that this water is precious and that it's healthy. Thank you.